First started with a shock, I think, for most of the people.
Padley's going to feel like a world champion after that.
He's obviously got skill and he can box.
Don't get me wrong, but I don't think Josh Kelly's got power.
What surprised me in this is how good Josh Warrington did.
I think that will be the last we see of Josh Warrington in the ring.
Joshua Buatsi and Willy Hutchinson.
Hutchinson would have to win every single round.
Hamzah Sheeraz and Tyler Denny.
Is he the next future British world champion?
Welcome back to BoxCast. In this episode, we're going to look at the undercard of the Joshua and Dubois fight. So we'll start with, quick shout out first to our man Jaime Munguia on beating Eric Bazinian on the Friday night. Well, it's like early Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I think he put on a good performance and basically near enough won every round against Bazinian. I think he had one round.
Knocked him out in the 10th.
That was close, and he knocked him out in the 10th. Yeah. Good finish. So I think he's back. But we always thought that, and Canelo's just Canelo.
Yeah.
I think, but Jaime Munguia is really, he's back. We like him. So shout out to him. Unfortunately, we were busy, so we didn't manage to do a video on him, but anyway, put that out there. All right, let's start with Josh Padley and Mark Chamberlain. First started with a shock, I think, for most of the people. What did we predict?
You had a Chamberlain 9th round KO. I had Chamberlain on points.
Okay, it did go to points, but we were wrong on who it was. I think Padley pulled it out here.
Yeah, Padley, I think was I don't think anyone had Padley to be winning, to be fair.
No.
And he just come on the big stage and gave it his all and was rewarded for it. Fair dues to him.
I think two of the judges had a 96-92 and one of them had a 95 and 93.
Yeah. With more on the judges later because I'm extremely
Yeah, we've got one of the fights that we need to put one. I think we will be analysing that one.
But yeah, Padley just seemed to... He was just better.
He just outboxed them.
Better.
It was close, but I think he just outboxed them.
Yeah, it was just one of them things. He was like 12-1 underdog Padley.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people who had accumulators for that night, I think it went down on the very first fight. So, Chamberlain, where did he go from here? I don't know, in all honesty. Padley's going to feel like a world champion after that.
Mm-hmm.
He really, really is. So, good on him. And
it was a really good performance.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Fair dues to me. You've got to step up on nights like this. He stepped up. And well done to him for it. And the likelihood is he'll get a big fight next as well. I mean, that was a big fight, but he'll get another big fight.
Mm-hmm.
Chamberlain, I get the feeling he's a bit of a... I think Turkey Alashay quite likes Chamberlain, doesn't he? So I think he'd have been devastated over that. I think. But I think he's one of his
more fave, like on the low-key fighters. He's one of his more fave fighters.
So, but yeah, well done, Padley, and we'll see where you go from there, young man.
Well, I don't think many people expected Chamberlain to get outboxed, which is the...
I know.
But yeah, so it started really with a big upset for people. But yeah, impressive performance.
Yeah. And then it very, very quickly, which was the theme of the whole night, you literally had time to leg at the toilet for a break, and by the time you come back down,
that is one of the things that
the next fight had already started. But you weren't even getting in to listen to the interviews in the ring or anything. If you were watching, I was watching it on the zone.
The next fight was Josh Kelly versus Ishmael Davis. Now, this was supposed to be Liam Smith.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he had to pull out, so it was a last-minute thing. Yeah. Well, scoring on this as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, what did you think?
Josh Kelly frustrates the hell out of me.
Yeah. He's obviously got skill and he can box, but he's really frustrating in that he just puts it on in patches.
Super, super quick. Got a
He's got good
variety
angles,
of
good footwork,
punches.
yeah.
And then...
It's like he just does enough and thinks,
Do you
yeah,
not
I'll
think he's got
showboat for a bit.
Yeah.
But you're against opponents who's been put in the last moment, you don't know.
I mean, that can be a problem. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think Josh Kelly's got power.
Yeah, or he doesn't load up. He's more like showmanship than, you know.
Every time I've watched him and I get excited by him, he got beat by David Avanesian and then he drew, I think it was over was it America or something? And he disappointed me there. And I can't say disappointed because he won, but his performance did disappoint me.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he's gonna. It's like he's found his level, and he's not.
Well, it's like he doesn't go through the gears, and the problem is you don't know whether he's got those gears or.
I don't think he has.
Yeah, and whether he's got them or he's just something there that he stopped. Because he started this fight well. He was clearly outboxing him, but he allowed Davis to get into it from about the fourth round, didn't he? He started to get back into it. The punch output suddenly goes up for Davis, and
I mean,
he's quite slick. He can get out the way and stuff, but he still allowed Davis got better as the fight went along.
I mean, I don't think he's he's a skillful boxer, and that's what he's going to rely on. Skill. There's nothing wrong with that, but.
But you can still apply pressure. Like an Usyk, you keep going for the whole thing where you just don't give the other guy rest. So you're always in the face, bang, 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 bang. And
I think that
you don't mind watching.
His way of doing the pressure is backing off and letting them follow you around. That's his pressure. Whereas I don't think he's ever going to be a crowd pleaser. When he puts his punches together, he is, because, like I say, he's lightning quick, super slick.
He's got the angles. He's got a variety of punches.
But I just don't.
And he's very accurate with most of them as well.
Can't see him taking the next step up. I think if he steps up...
It's super welterweight in it, so it's 154. So who in that division are you going to...
I think if he takes a step up to world level, I think he gets beat again.
Well, it's super welterweight. You've got Crawford, Madrimov, Fondora, Ortiz, Tim Tszyu, Boachuk, and a few others in it. Conwell.
Yeah, I just don't. I can't see
Does
him.
he beat any of them? And he's actually high up on the thing, isn't he? He's like.
Do you know what?
In WBO, he's the second.
Yeah, he can beat them because he's got the skill set.
IBF, he's fifth.
He's got the skill set to beat
Kelly.
And the speed to beat all of them.
He's on the WBC rankings as well. Yeah,
but he can't sustain it.
But you couldn't do it like that, like he's fought there.
No,
you'd have to go through the levels.
Yeah.
And I'd go through the gears, and raise your level, because all of them are beasts.
And he panics when he gets caught.
And they can punch.
He panics when he gets caught.
Yeah.
He always has done.
And I'm not sure, Davis has that much power either. I mean, he had a bit, but... Not that much, but you just let him get better. I mean, he didn't shut him down.
Fair play to Davis coming in at a week's notice. And like you say, we've got to take that into account. It's a week's notice. You've been training for however many weeks to fight someone else, so...
I'm not so there that Liam Smith and Ishmael Davis are the same exactly.
No, so we have got to take that into account, and maybe that's why... So it'd be interesting to see.
I mean, he's won, but it's a close fight. I mean, the cards were close. One of them had a draw, 115-13. I mean, I think he was slicker, and I did a bit wider.
I think I had Kelly up by 3 or 4 rounds.
Yes, I think I had by 3 rounds.
But I wasn't impressed by him, and I wanted to be. I think I don't know where he goes. I mean, he's got massive fights. To be fair, he could go and fight Conor Benn. Still got the Liam Smith fight, so he has got big fights there. And if he can raise the levels, then maybe, yeah. But I don't think he can.
Yeah, I mean, you can allow for that it's a different opponent, but it's like, 114, 114, 115, 113, 115, 114. You're leaving a lot to chance. All right, that was a British contest. If that's somewhere else, do you leave?
To be fair, I don't agree with them scorecards.
I think, well, we're going to do a big rant in a minute on the site.
Hey-ho.
So what do you think? Who do we go? Who would he, if you're Josh Kelly's one, and assume we know he's got, his camp must know if he's got gears, who would you go after next in that, assuming he could get the fight? Do you think he steps up to world or just below?
He can't step up to world.
Well, I don't think any of them are going to want to fight. There's no reason to fight him because he hasn't got a big enough name or anything. Although he is...
I think, the Liam Smith fight's still there.
And go there first.
Yeah, I think the Liam Smith fight's still there.
I think he'd have to do better than that, though.
Oh, yeah, because the thing is when he takes the breaks he has, Liam Smith will jump on him.
Yeah.
And Liam Smith will punish him.
Well, Davis got better as he went. I think the first he just started slow because he gave up the first 3
very,
rounds.
very susceptible to cuts, Josh Kelly.
Is he?
He's always getting cut. So, yeah, and I think
he needs to do more work longer. And if he does his work in each round more, he could be clearly winning those rounds without letting the other person get back into it. And then you're making the other person think, your opponent think that, like, wait a minute, if I do this, he's going to counter punch me, he's going to do this.
Yeah, but
which is what slick boxers normally do.
Yeah, but let's take it as, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say, because the opponent was short notice and you didn't really...
What did we say was going to happen?
We didn't discuss it, did we?
Oh, because we had Liam Smith, didn't we? Yeah, that would have been a different fight. Okay.
So we'll let him off.
So we let him off as in that was a last minute opponent. Okay, next one. That's a good fight. Anthony Cacace against Josh Warrington.
How big's Anthony Cacace?
Big-ish.
Josh Warrington looked like 4 weights smaller than him.
Well, the thing for me in this fight, because I think I had Cacace anyway, isn't it? And I think both of us said Cacace, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did we say?
You said points, I said 10th round KO.
Yeah. I said I could have seen either. What surprised me in this is how good Josh Warrington did in keeping up weight, because he did look he stepped up in weight as well, hasn't he?
I think Josh Warrington knew that this was his last hurrah.
Because he kept it quite close. Yeah.
I think Josh did know this was his last hurrah. I think there have been, from what I've... Like I say, he didn't really interview people afterwards, so...
But we didn't have time to have a breather.
I did see that he took his gloves off and put them in the middle of the ring, and that was like his retirement thing.
Yeah, I think he went out. He put on a really good performance because
he never stopped trying. I don't think he had any power to hurt Cacace though.
Cacace didn't really slow down and go on him, but I was surprised that he kept him like bay. I thought Cacace would have been a bit more comprehensive, but I don't think that was a disappointment on Cacace's side because I think he was trying. It was just, I think
Josh Warrington's
put it all on his heart on the thing.
He's a hard person to catch clean, Josh Warrington. To be fair, he's got that proper.
Yeah, he's got the
tucked up
defense is quite good.
But like you say, he never stopped throwing. It's a fair dues to him, but. I think that will be the last we see of Josh Warrington in the ring. Because I don't think he's going to want to fight domestic level people. He's been 2-weight world champion, two-time world champion. So, Cacace, do you know? I said in the pre-fight that Cacace, I think he's going to be one of them champions that really steps up when he's a champion. I'm not too sure. No. He's 35, isn't he?
Well, I think he did in winning it.
Look who's in the division.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. That the people in there, it's hard to see. Navarrete or somebody, you're not going to beat like that performance. And then there's some others in the coming up ones.
Any British ones still in the top 10?
Lee Wood and Archie Sharp. On the WBO, there's Lee Wood and Archie Sharp.
I think Lee Wood.
Zelfa Barrett.
Zelfa Barrett.
And Lee Wood as well on the
IDF.
fight. I think it's a few, isn't it? So they've got... It's only Lee Wood really consistently and Zelfa Barrett's on two of them. So
we'll see what happens, but it was a good performance from him. He was just bigger and stronger, wasn't he? And like I say, I think he was just walking through Josh Warrington. I don't think he was getting hurt.
Yeah, I've sort of given it the other way. I think it was Josh Warrington put on like a last hurrah performance, and I think I let off Cacace a little bit. I mean, he won, and he sort of got more warmed up towards the end. He was getting a bit more on top as he continued. So, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't... It was a good fight. It was a non-stop entertaining fight. But I just... I don't know, I was getting a bit bored near the end of it, to be fair.
Well, I would have expected Cacace to turn it up more.
Yeah.
Near the end. I thought it'd be, at the beginning, it'll be a bit more even because they'll feel each other.
Did he have a bit too much respect for Josh Warrington? Not in like, oh, I'm scared of his punch power, just sort of, I respect you as a fighter and...
I don't want to take you out.
Yeah.
I sort of got that near the end feeling. I thought maybe it's...
I don't know.
If he knows his last hurrah, then... Well, I didn't think... I was thinking it looks a bit like that. I didn't know it was Josh Warrington's last hurrah. If I'd have known that, I'd have been like, yeah, he's sort of... He doesn't want to take him out here. And punish him too much. He just did enough to win, basically, rather than...
Cacace, I think what he's got to do now is...
If he wants to fight the other people at that, because obviously he hasn't got age on his side.
No, to go maybe try and unify.
You've got to raise your game.
And so maybe try and go and unify.
You've got Navarrete, who's pretty good. Conceição's pretty good. And who's the other champion? Lamont Roach. So
go and try and unify the division.
Yeah.
No harm in that.
He's capable of beating at least one of them. So
Big Belfast show.
I think he'll raise his game a bit more there than that fight. So, yeah, but well done to him. And, happy retirement to Josh Warrington. He's been
he did.
Really
he was... a
performer. I think this was just a weight too high, basically.
And I know that he was a bit like Ricky Hatton in Manchester. Josh Warrington up in Leeds. The crowd, when they had fights up in Leeds, were absolutely fantastic. So, and he's had some absolute brilliant fights with the likes of Carl Frampton, Kiko Martinez and things like that. So, fair dues to him. Yes, enjoy retirement.
Okay, the next fight was a light heavyweight. Joshua Buatsi and Willy Hutchinson.
Boom, boom, boom.
Right, we'll save the judges till the end. But let's do the fight first.
Buatsi KO round 9.
Okay.
I had Buatsi boring win on point of put.
You were correct. I should have been correct because Buatsi should have had him out of there. And when he put his foot...
Buatsi's another one, a bit like Josh Kelly.
Yeah. I think he's a little bit more...
When he puts
his together,
he is world class.
Yeah.
And that's what I remember from Buatsi in his 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th fight. I was a massive fan of his. I thought, this guy's going to be a world champion. Because he walks through punches. They don't seem to affect him. When the sound his punches make are on a different level when he puts them together. And he bangs in them body shots and then switches to the head. It just looks superb. And then he just switches off. It's like the lights just go off and it's so weird.
Yeah. Because he had them there to take.
So weird.
I mean, Hutchinson did well to stay in there, and you've got to give him a lot of credit for his heart. But Buatsi should have had him out.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think he's that tough that he couldn't have got him out. If he'd, when he was applying the pressure, if he just put a bit more pressure on instead of having a break. And the disappointing thing is in the last rounds, he was just like...
He knew he'd won.
And he wasn't bothered.
But I'll tell you what, if he'd seen the scorecards, he wouldn't have been doing that.
Well, he was clearly ahead, and then I think he lost the last 2 rounds.
Right.
I give the first round to Hutchinson, or first round, second round, one of the rounds to Hutchinson of the early rounds. The first one, I think. Then it was basically Buatsi all the way, apart from and the last 2.
So you give him 3 rounds, let's say. Yeah. Well, let's not forget there was 2 knockdowns.
Yeah, and you would add them on.
And a point deduction.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Did he give him 3 rounds or 4 rounds? Let me just check. The first one... Yeah, I give him 3 rounds. First, 11th and 12th. And then there was the knockdowns.
Yeah, and the point deduction.
Yeah. So the correct score is about, whatever, 117, 108?
Yeah.
2 judges had that, so let's let them off. But one judge... Oh, no, one judge had it 117, 108, which is correct, right?
Yeah.
One judge had it 115, 110. All right, for Buatsi. Correct way round, but that's... Like, if you allow for 3 knockdowns or whatever there was. Oh, the point deduction and 2 knockdowns.
Yeah.
How?
It's still 3 10-8 rounds.
And... Like, one of them had 113, 112 for Hutchinson, which I just don't...
You should be fired.
How? In what world or what universe
113, 100... I mean, I think Adam... not Adam Booth. Well, yeah, Adam Booth did it in the Josh Kelly fight. He ran over to the judges when they said it was a split decision. But this... Oh, my God. So you're saying that...
I don't know what... to be honest, I can't work out that score.
Right.
Because
10-8...
6 points swing.
Right, there's 10-8, 10-8, 10-8. That's for the 2 knockdowns and the point deduction.
Yeah.
That's 6 rounds. Yeah? Hutchinson would have to win every single round.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether maybe the judge has not added a 10-8 round.
Well,
possibly.
Even if we get 10 round, it's 5 rounds
it's
ahead.
Just, wow.
Like, how, in what world can you... Like if you go for the CompuBox, right? Like, the first round I gave to Hutchinson, but actually Buatsi had more punches. Second round, Buatsi by a lot more. 5 punches ahead. 4 punches ahead. All right, 4th round is close. 19 to 18. But, I mean, Buatsi did the better work. But still, all right, you could swing that. 5th round is closer, but again, Buatsi did the better work. 6th round is again wildly in Buatsi's favour. That was one of them when he put it down. 7th round is Buatsi. 8th round is Buatsi. 9th round is Buatsi. 10th round is Buatsi. All right, 11th and 12th. But 11th is close. It's pretty even. And 12th is the only clear round to Hutchinson is the 12th round.
Look, I mean, I know scorecards are subjective, but something needs to be done about that.
I mean, that's a ridiculous scorecard.
It's
there is no way in any universe
he needs to be taken,
like
and I agree with a lot of these promoters. They need to be questioned there and then. Why have you scored that fight like that?
Yeah.
What have you seen that...
Even the 115, 110, because there's 5 for Buatsi anyway. You're saying that they've drawn the other rounds, which just isn't the case.
Yeah. And they need to be made accountable for that. They need to be taken in front of the board.
You could be 116, 109 or whatever, like 1 or 2 rounds either way. There's only about 2 rounds in there that swing. So there's only one judge who's got the correct score there.
Something needs to... something needs to be done about
result,
it.
but like it should have been a unanimous decision.
I mean, you saw Buatsi's face when he said split decision. He was like, what?
I was like, what the hell?
Because I was thinking...
You mean unanimous decision?
If they give this to Hutchinson, wow. It's not right. And something needs to be done about it. It's happening too much now. Yes, the decision did go the right way, but you can't
Buatsi was the aggressor.
You can't have a judge scoring it like that.
Buatsi had, like CompuBox it, but Buatsi had more punches landed in all rounds and better punches. So... On top of that, he's got a point deduction in his favour and 2 knockdowns.
Yeah,
like how in what world can you give it to Hutchinson?
It can't. This stuff needs to stop. And
I haven't got the name. We need to put that.
I think it was a bloody British fella as well, but it needs to stop.
Somebody's got a brown envelope. I think
it really, really does need to stop. It's getting ridiculous. Some of the scoring. I don't know whether they should do. I think they should do live scoring myself.
Put it on there and
yeah, I think they should do live scoring. And maybe they should be watching it, or they need like.
But if you got close rounds,
I don't know.
Right, you can say, but like,
should they be ringside? Should they be watching in a box on the road on the telly?
Yeah, but I don't think there's any excuse for that scorecard. I mean, sometimes when they're close rounds, like in some of the fights, you can say it is subjective. It's more what do you like? In that one, though, like you said, it should be 6 rounds. But even if you would say it's 5, even if you give that round to Hutchinson, but you get the point deduction, it's still 10-9. It would have been a 10-10 to a 10-9. It's 5 rounds ahead. Like, there is no way in hell you can make that a win for Hutchinson.
That's where it's just wrong, but... At least the right man won.
Even the Buatsi the other way around, it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, we got the right result, but not in the right way. And then there, all right. What do you? Let's all right. We've had a rant of points. So I think Hutchinson's shares have gone down in that. I think a little bit, although he fought quite well.
Yeah,
he did quite well to stay there till the end. Because like I said, I should have been right with my ninth round
Buatsi's still on that.
Still disappointing a little bit, even though it was a good performance.
But Buatsi's, I think he's highly ranked by everyone.
Well, he's next after it. There's obviously the 2 beasts at the top, Beterbiev and Bivol, which we will find out soon. Benavides is now number 3, and then Buatsi. He's above Yard and Ramirez and Callum Smith and Vosdick and Hutchison and Morrell.
I'd throw him in against Benavides.
I think that'd be a good fight.
That's a
tough fight for Benavides.
Yeah, throw him in there with him. Let's see if Buatsi...
I think if he's really the material... Yeah.
It's like he gets bored, isn't it, Buatsi?
I think he just does enough.
Yeah, and I think maybe he's one of them where if you
raise the level of opposition,
then he might just really raise.
Because in little bursts, when he had it, he was fantastic, and you're like, why don't you do that all the time?
He's just wow, isn't he?
Because I don't think he gasses out, because I thought maybe he gasses, but he doesn't. It's just like he's like, I've won now. I've done enough.
Yeah.
Maybe the last 2 rounds he gave to Hutchinson, which he didn't need to. He was never in any danger. He wasn't in it, and he gave the 2 rounds to make Hutchinson look good.
I'd throw him in with Benavides. Make that fight.
Yeah.
Let's see how good he really is.
It'd be a good measure for Benavides to see how you're actually there.
Yeah. Because that's a big name for both of them. But like I say, Buatsi's really, really highly ranked. Benavides really highly ranked. Big name. Go for it. Make it happen.
Yeah.
I want it. I want that fight. But yeah.
You think he beats the others? Do you think he beats Yard, Callum Smith, Ramirez? Even a Vosdick. Vosdick's back in the thing.
Yeah, I do actually. I think he is one of them. He'll raise his game.
But when I was watching yesterday, I was thinking him and Yard would be a good...
I think he beats Yard.
Yeah.
I think he knocks Yard out.
Well, in the little bits where he got going, and then near the end, I was like, maybe Yard did. It's like, but yeah, it's whether he can... We find out if he can stay switched on and go for
He's got to do it now, though.
Yeah.
He's got to really step up now. This is your time.
Bivol and Beterbiev? You think he's better?
He's one of them. Is when he's doing what...
I think Bivol's a better boxer.
Bivol's a better boxer, and I think...
But if he catches him and he's got his chin, and if he can push him back like he did against Hutchinson, then he's got a chance.
He's a weird
and
one,
Beterbiev's a beast, but I think that would be a sick fight. Beterbiev and Buatsi, apart from obviously depends what happens in their match.
Let's see. We'll put a pin
in. But Benavides and him would be...
Put a pin in Buatsi, because he's one of them that he might just surprise a lot of people. We shall see.
And he can take a punch.
Oh, his
He didn't really get bothered by Hutchinson.
His chin.
I mean, it was surprising that he let him hit, but he was covered up well. I don't think he got hit clean.
From what I hear, he spars against heavyweights and things like that, and he's
solid.
He's made of granite.
Cool. So, so we'll move on from there. Yeah. So the most exciting thing of that fight was the bloody scoring. But anyway,
told you it'd be a boring win.
Yeah, you were right. Hamzah Sheeraz and Tyler Denny. Well, we were both right on this, but like a little bit, we were a bit less optimistic than the results.
Is he the next future British world champion?
I hope so.
I
think so as well.
He's got everything, hasn't he? Speed, power, punch output.
He's so composed, but he's young.
He's going places, this lad.
And like down to earth.
He is really going places. He needs to take another step up in class now.
This was middleweight, isn't it?
Yeah. I think he wipes the floor with most of the middleweights.
Well, there's talk of it, wasn't it, Carlos Adames? I think that was the one they were looking at, isn't it? But there's some good people in there.
I think he beats them all.
You think he beats them all?
I do. I really rate this kid. I really, 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 really rate him. I think... I don't think there's many people that can beat him. And he's just getting better and better and better. And
he's sort of mandatory on the WBO, and then he's mandatory on the WBC.
And
WBC champion is Carlos Adames. I think is the next one out of them.
Super powerful as well.
Against Erislandy Lara.
I think he beats him all. I just think this kid he's it.
Against Janibek.
He's it. Sheeraz, he's it. Trust me. This kid is it.
I hope
honestly,
so. I think he could be. I think he has everything in there to be it.
Tall,
a little bit more experience, but I think
tall, rangy, powerful, fast, composed. Seems to have quite a good chin as well, actually.
Yeah.
Good footwork. Picks his punches together well.
Well, he covers up quite well, and he's got those huge arms because it's like that. It covers the sides because Denny was trying the body shots, and he didn't. They were more hitting the arms rather than really getting through.
Yeah, another step up for him. And maybe world title end of next year, I reckon. Do you know I'd love to see him in against? Chris Eubank Jr.
Yeah, I was gonna say his name, but I know you know.
Because
I think he cleans him out. Yeah. Eubank Jr. I think that would be a good stepping up fight. I think there's one or two others in there that would be good stepping up fights. And then you can go for the top ones.
No, like I think
Lara Adames and Alam Hanouli.
I think he needs one more fight, maybe two, and then I think you can throw this kid in for a world title fight. I think
Adames is the one to go for.
I think he's that composed. Wouldn't phase him.
I don't think it'd phase him now. I think, but just to
do it now.
He didn't get that much experience on that one. I think he needs a few tougher fights
because he's such a young lad as well, and then he could move up to super middleweight quite easily.
Yeah, he's for his height, he's a skinny. He should be able to put weight on.
Don't be surprised if he's fighting Canelo in 2 years.
Yeah.
Or even end of next year.
Mm.
No, that's going to be too soon.
That's too soon.
2 years. But he'll move up to super middleweight.
If Canelo's still boxing.
Yeah. So they like to honestly, I can't see him staying.
I think Eubank Jr. is a good call.
Yeah. I can't see him staying at middleweight for long.
I think he'll go to clear it out.
Yeah.
You could see him.
He could go.
There's a few of them he's capable of winning.
He could easily quite go all the way up to light heavyweight. This kid.
Mm.
He's
6'2", 3" anyway. He's tall enough to do it.
And like you say, he's a little beanpole, isn't he?
And he is only relatively young, isn't he? What did I have? 24, 23, something.
He can fill out.
Let's check his age.
He's a few protein shakes.
Yeah, that's what he needs.
But yeah, I'm really impressed by him. And
25, yeah. So he's only he's 24 last time we looked at him,
innit? Yeah, well, keep an eye out for this lad.
He's got all the attributes. He's down to earth. He seems sensible. He trains well. He's always in good shape. I think he can fill out. But he's got power, both hands. He's got boxing skill. He looks like he's got a good defense and a good chin. So, I think he needs to step on a few more tougher opponents.
Yeah. watch. Honestly, keep your eye out for him. Anyone who,
But I think he is world level.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And yeah,
I'd get him back out there in December.
the
I
only
put him on.
Yeah,
I put him on the Fury Usyk
well, it's only 2
undercard.
rounds, and what was a round and a half. He's
Yeah.
had, that was the only disappointing bit. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I think he had him once. The first round one was, but it was a good, really good thing. Denny overreached, dropped his hand again, and boom, left hand, left hook, boom, down. Yeah, so it was good card.
Yeah, enjoyed the night.
I think the only comment is there was on a few of them we've had where it was too long in between them. This one it was too fast.
Yeah.
They need to allow a little bit of time in between them.
Yeah. I think British boxing's really represented itself well for Riyadh season.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of the stars there, isn't it? You could see we're like, wow, when they're filled up.
Will come back again next year. So it's fantastic. So yeah, let's do it.
I think
again.
Frank Warren enjoys it. I'm not sure Eddie Hearn enjoys it so much.
No, I think he does. I think he does.
He's got his beatings.
Yeah,
his
but I think he just loves the atmosphere, loves being around. He absolutely loves it.
The results. Obviously, Frank Warren's had really good results. So most of them.
I think the next one will be a 5v5, possibly another 5v5 matchroom versus
Opportunity for Frank Warren to win again.
But no, I think England did as a whole.
I think it was a really good performance.
The United
really
Kingdom,
show.
to be fair, did fantastic. I think the crowd
most impressive performance.
Alexander Usyk turning up
with the shades and his look.
Ledge.
Yeah, in the ring, please. Let's focus.
Shiraz, I think, for me, stole the show.
Best performance, I think.
You can't take anything away from Daniel Dubois.
I think, yeah.
But yeah, Shiraz for me was
the most impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Shiraz is the number one, and then Dubois was second. I think the others, most of them we expected. Padley, I think we'd probably give him he did surprised everybody. I think they'd be the 3 standout performances. Yeah. I think we expected Shiraz. I think
they need
Dubois
to do
Padley were the
they need to do a knockout bonus.
Yeah. For warming up, for keeping it for 2 rounds. Yeah.
No, I just think they need to do a knockout.
Well, I think they need to offer to Josh Kelly and Buatsi knockout bonuses.
If you get it done in 6
rounds, we'll give you
an extra 10% or something.
Yeah, we might get a bit better fighting them. Yeah, Buatsi was the one. Yeah. I think, good performance from obviously winning, but I think he was disappointing that he should have got him out today, really.
Yeah.
So saying kudos to Hutchinson, but yeah, I think he was. And Josh Kelly, you need to box for more of the round and more rounds than a little bit of showboating. But yeah, I think Sheeraz was, professional, fantastic.
He's the one to watch for, mate.
Dubois was really good, although, And, and Padley, well done for, pulling off the first shock of the night and a big shock. Good performance. Okay, looking forward to the next one. Well, the next one I think is a Riyadh season.
No, I think we've got Bam Bam next.
No, not the next video. I mean the next Riyadh season.
Next Riyadh season, yeah. But I think fights up and coming. I think you got Bam Bam fighting.
We'll be doing a few.
You've got Sonny Edwards.
We've got a few fights in between before Beterbiev, but Beterbiev is...
Beterbiev, Bivol, we are...
That's the next Riyadh season one.
It's going to be epic.
And then the undercard of that is pretty good as well, even though Shakur, unfortunately, is injured. But...
be good.
But there's plenty of good fights on there, so yeah. And then I think then we'll have a proper Riyadh. There'll be another one in between, isn't it? And I think then there'll be Christmas one, isn't it?
Usyk Fury, mate.
That'll be in December.
Usyk Fury.
Okay, let us know what you think. Comments, like, subscribe, the usual goodness. And we will see you in the next one. Thank you very much.